Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to another great episode here on the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor. Kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, on today's conversation, Atlanta's not quite happy with the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, for not considering them for their next destination to host their prominent convention. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens, he shares his thoughts on that. Also, former California Congressman Eric Swalwell, also former gubernatorial candidate, wants somebody who is going to be a huge rising star in the Democratic Party, someone that was very close of being not only the Democratic nominee for governor of the state of California, but possibly even the next governor. Now disgraced politician, because there was a scandal that had occurred that's now just continued to hurt his brand, his name. We will talk about that because in recent news, FBI agents, or federal agents, had seized his devices as well as his home. So we're going to talk about that later on in the show. Also, popular couple Meghan Markle and Harry. Oh, how lovely. Rumors that they're moving back to the UK after, I believe, 6 years. I think we'll talk about that. I still say they're a part of the royal family. They're even though they were stripped from or exempt from their, I guess, royal duties or whatever, they're still a part of royalty. What else do we have? Oh, and also two local cities out here in my home area in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area has proposed some new rules. Why? Because, they don't like the way citizens act during session, right? We live in a climate where a lot of folks want answers and they're not getting them. So yeah, it kind of brings some frustrated folks. So we're going to talk about that and more. And if we have some time, I'll also share some possible 2028 candidate predictions with you all. It's something that's going to keep on changing throughout the cycle. Of course, it will definitely change after these midterms, but I like to plan ahead. So I'm curious to hear and know what your thoughts are on my predictions, my candidate predictions, and I'll explain why I think these folks will be announcing that they'll run for president, and I'll also share why some of these candidates that people are bringing their names into the mix, it's not going to work. So we got a lot to discuss, y'all. We got a jam-packed show for you all. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. This is episode 658. We drop new episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube, as well as wherever you listen to your podcast, whether that's Apple, iHeart, Spotify, just to name a few. You can also check us out on the GOATverse TV app, GOATverse TV streaming network. We're so honored and thrilled to be a part of that awesome network and be a part of the GOATverse TV family. Do me a favor, download the app. If you have an iPhone, you can download it on your app store. If you have an Android, you can download it on the Google Play Store. If you happen to have a Roku, you can find us on Roku and download us also on Amazon Fire. So multiple ways multiple ways you can download and get access to GOATverse TV. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at the Arrington Gavin Show, at the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram, Blue Skies, and X, all under the same handle. That handle is AG Show Live. Okay, AG Show Live on Blue Sky and X. formerly known as Twitter. You can also check out our Substack. And lastly, you can check out our awesome website, www.theagshow.com. If you would like to reach out, you can send me an email through my website, or you can also DM me on Instagram. I will hopefully get with those and respond to those comments. I love the engagement with the listeners and viewers out there. Lastly, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, what the hell are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe, my friends. We have a goal to hit at least 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We continue to see new subscribers each and every day, and I truly appreciate the support and the growth. We're just here to have fun, but also just inform you all. The worst thing to have is lack of knowledge what goes on in your communities, and just be in the know, right? We talk about we talk entertainment, we talk sports, we talk politics for the most part, but hey, look, we like to have fun on the show. We bring on amazing guests from all different backgrounds, entertainment, community, health advocates as well, professional sports, politics. We have them all, my friends. We have them all. And so we love to bring that here on the pod, and just to have a great time. Just to have a great time. That's all, man. That is all. All righty, y'all. Well, look, as I mentioned, we got a packed show. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day today. I will say today is a wet day. It's still very warm and humid. I've been complaining a lot about the weather and how hot it is, and I'm from this area, and it's still hot, right? And but today we got a downpour of rain here in Virginia. I don't know if you all have been getting the same outcome. Well, if you happen to be on the East Coast, you probably for the most part have a little rain on your end. But yeah, we got a huge downpour to the point where it's raining so hard you got to wait in your car and think about life like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do? You start planning how you gonna get out the car. Okay, if I get out the car, I'll run about. Okay, do at least run 5. If I 5 steps, boom, I'm right there at the door. I can at least come under that covering. It's an obstacle. It really is an obstacle. And the reason why I say that is because, of course, I'm not an umbrella carrier. I don't really sport umbrellas. My wife, and she always has all the umbrellas. I never carry an umbrella. Nor do I ever have a rain jacket in my car. I should. It's good to be prepared ahead, right? But I didn't have anything. So the kind of shoes that I'm actually wearing has like holes in them, like little holes. So when it gets wet, my sock and everything is like soaking wet. So yeah, I'm fully dry now. But earlier today, I was like drenched. I was racing to my car like, and I'm not really a runner like that anymore. I do the elliptical. I'm one of those ones that I want to take my time. I don't like to run, even though I know running is good for you. And my wife had brought up to my attention, hey, would you like to do a marathon with me? I'm like, another one. Did I ever tell y'all that we ran like a half marathon? Oh, no, it was a 5K. It wasn't a half marathon. It was a 5K, which is I think like 3 miles. And it was great. I wouldn't mind doing it again. I saw a lot of older folks that are just like in amazing shape. Just the average runners. Like they're the regulars. You could run, you could walk. It's at your own pace. And I'm thinking about doing it again because it was cool. It was fun. Enough of my chit chat, y'all. Let's go ahead. We're going to head to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll get it going with our stories that we're going to talk about here on this episode. Thank you again for being with us. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Don't go anywhere.
Let me tell you something that most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blend sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, We specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, that's that new Gold Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
6'10", number one pick, 16 seasons, College Player of the Year, All-Rookie Standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolves. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
I'm Aaron Phillips. Join me Saturdays at 12:30 as I host The Voice of 757. I'll share news, events, happenings, and the people that shape the 757. That's The Voice of 757, Saturday afternoon at 12:30 right here on Sky 4.
All righty, my friends, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Let's get it going with our very first. Well, actually, I want to start you off by listening to this clip here. This came across my feed on IG, and I had reposted it on our Instagram, and it's so important. It's important. So let me go ahead and play you this clip here, and let me see if you remember or if this sounds familiar to you.
What do you feel about NATO?
I never met NATO. I don't know nothing about it. I don't talk about people behind their back.
NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Oh, but you didn't say that. I thought you were talking about the guy. I know this guy named NATO Jenkins.
You have to know these things. If you're running for public
do you know
office,
NATO Jenkins?
I know what NATO is.
Do you know NATO Jenkins?
I'm sorry, I haven't met the gentleman.
That's what I said. Didn't I say that? You don't know nothing about NATO? I don't know nothing about NATO.
How would you deal with white-collar crime?
First of all, there's no such thing as white-collar crime. And there's definitely no such thing as black-on-black crime. Crime is crime. Let me explain something to you. I don't care if you have a white collar or a tank top. If you rob me, I'm going to whoop your ass.
What do you feel about NATO?
I never met NATO.
One of my favorite movies of all time, Head of State, starred Chris Rock and the late great one of my my all-time favorite comedian of all time, Bernie Mac. Love Bernie Mac, R.I.P. That scene was a couple scenes. There were some clips from the movie Head of State where Chris Rock was the president of the United States. And see, that was in 2003, and it was a great comedy and cult classic because at that time nobody in this world would have ever thought we would have witnessed a black president. Okay, never. And that's the whole reason why it was a spoof film. It was a film like, oh, this would never happen, so let's go ahead and have do this film. And so that film went down, was very successful. And that was a scene when Bernie Mac played Chris Rock's brother in the movie and also his vice president. And so you heard the guy who kind of played the Larry King on that show in the movie, and he's like, do you know anything? What's your take on NATO? What's your thing? NATO. I don't know NATO. I don't know NATO. I know well, you have NATO. I thought you were talking about NATO Jacobs. That's what I got to know. NATO Jacobs. You have to know this stuff. I ain't gonna know. You know NATO. You know NATO Jacobs. Do you know NATO? I'm sorry, I don't. So you don't know NATO either. It's so clear. No. When he said, "What's your take on white collar crime?" Look here. There's no white collar crime. It sure as hell no black on black crime. Crime is crime. If you come near me, I say, what do you say? Oh, if you wear the white tank top or a turtle, if you come near me, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Man, let me tell you something. Y'all need to find a Bernie Mac. Y'all need to find this collective of candidates right here. Because here's the thing. You laugh. We all laugh. We think this is hilarious, the way he had answered to those questions. But is that any different from the president that we have in office right now? Is it any different? What is the difference between Bernie Mac answering those questions? Nato Jacobs, Nato, okay. Like the way he responded was no different from this clown in Washington, who openly he attacks every reporter that is not on his side, that he sees as being that interrogates him or asks him tough questions. Oh, now they're a threat or the enemy, and then he starts talking about their character and how low rating their network is and this and that and the other. I mean, give me a break. But I wanted to give y'all a good laugh because I'm gonna watch that movie later this evening. The more I think about it, I'm gonna watch that movie. Let's get it going first with Atlanta, hot Atlanta. Actually, I love Atlanta. My brother, sister-in-law, my niece live out there in Atlanta. Recently, the DNC shared that Atlanta would not be on one of their considerations for the next DNC Democratic National Convention. So Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens wrote basically slamming the Democratic National Committee. I don't know why I said National Convention. DNC is a Democratic National Committee, but the DNC is also Democratic National Convention. And its chair, Ken Martin, recently after it left the city off its short list of cities to host the party's 2028 convention, accusing the organization of abandoning Atlanta, abandoning the South, and once again, abandoning Black voters. Now, that is a huge disconnect, I would say, that Democratic Party overall has to deal with, because really, and it's unfair, but majority Black voters lean Democrat. Now, it was years and years ago that there are such thing as, they still exist, but there's still a lot of Black conservatives that still would lean Democrat. Now, further back then, during I'll say the 70s, early on, you had Republicans that were, majority Black voters were Republicans. Now, you in this current time in 2026, a lot of Democrats are Black voters. And the part that gets me is like the DNC doesn't realize they're losing their Black voters. In my opinion, I think they're losing their Black voters. DNC early in the day announced that Boston, Denver, and Philadelphia were the three finalist cities being considered for the party's next nominating convention, which will take place some 40 years since the Georgia Capitol last held the event in 1988. Now, the decision Mayor Andre Dickens wrote in a letter obtained by Politico is an example of the DNC being unwilling to do the bare minimum to support the base of the party. Again, if your base are Black voters, why are you not going to where they are? Now, I get it. When it comes to strategy, your goal is to, if you know that your ride or die supporters supporting no matter what, then it's like, okay, let me branch out to other places. And recently, they're not those ride or dies. They're not. They're leaving the party. I'm not saying some of them are jumping ship to the right. Some of them are just going fully independent, saying, I'm tired of the BS with this with the Democratic Party. It's the truth. Quote here from Dickens wrote, he said, for the DNC not to even include Atlanta in the short list means the DNC does not consider Atlanta or Georgia relevant to the past, present, or future of the Democratic Party. It seems that Ken Martin, who's the DNC chair, doesn't even believe himself when he said that the road to the White House runs through the South. Adding insult to injury, Dickens' office only found out about the decision through an Associated Press article and was not given a heads up about the move from the DNC, said Michael Smith, the mayor's deputy chief of communication officer. Georgia has become an increasingly important state for Democrats' national ambition, both in this November and in 2028. The once solidly red state has shifted purple in recent elections, and both of its senators are Democrats, John Ossoff and Pastor Raphael Warnock. The state sent its electoral votes to the former President Joe Biden in 2020 and President Donald Trump in 2024. Now, Democrats have virtually no chance of flipping control of the Senate this fall if Ossoff loses to his Republican challenger, Representative Mike Collins, on election day. Now, one thing I will shout out to John Ossoff, because he has been getting a lot of endorsements from GOP members. Long time conservative talk radio host Shelley Winters endorsed John Ossoff. Eric Erickson, I'm not gonna say he endorsed him, but he did publicly praise him, which is kind of showing him leaning more towards John Ossoff. And then it was a former U.S. senator, Republican senator out of Arizona, who has on the campaign trail endorsed John Ossoff. Says, but in the DNC is blind to the fact that the South is the answer. Dickens charged on Thursday. Republicans, meanwhile, will host their 2028 national convention in Houston, Texas. You know what's interesting too? That if you think about it, if you go back, what helped Joe Biden get elected? Black voters. South Carolina, with the help of Congressman James Clyburn. He helped them out. Okay. He gave them gave him the upper hand to be like, okay, I think we can support. And Joe Biden, when he won and his victory speech, he said, look, the black community, I thank you, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be president of the United States. That's a fact. That is a fact. So again, and I think this is where, Roland Martin always gets right. The DNC shoots himself in the foot all the time, right? Strategy sucks. Ground game sucks. Meeting people where they are sucks. If you don't have the black vote, guess what? You are not going to succeed. That's why if you notice, like on news networks where they bring up Abdul El Said, who is the Democratic nominee for Michigan Senate, U.S. Senate, that he has a low support. His numbers are low when it comes to black voters. You see James Tallarico out in Texas running for U.S. Senate. He's going to where? Number of black church, speaking with number of black outlets. It's important. It's extremely important. The DNC did not provide comment on the Atlanta mayor's criticism, but pointed to its pick of South Carolina to lead the 2028 primary calendar, as well as recent DNC gatherings in New Orleans, as well as Austin, Texas, as examples of its investment in the South. But again, what he's saying, Atlanta has just came off this huge roller coaster with the whole World Cup, brought in a lot of revenue, brought in a lot of national attention. They have currently one of the most talked about U.S. Senate races going on. The DNC does get it wrong. Ken Martin should resign. They've already stories of him being a horrible boss, being abusive verbally to his staff. I think it was one point he threw a phone across the room or something. I mean, like, bro, if you're gonna pout like that, you ain't down for this job. You're not. Certain funding and it was terrible, just terrible, in the words of Charles Barker, just terrible. But as I conclude to this segment right here with ATL not being the host of the DNC, I mean, look, ATL is going to continue to thrive. It's up for the DNC that are in rebuilding stage to say, hey, look, if you're trying to win, if you're trying to, again, earn the respect from Black voters, right now you're not starting off so swell. Not starting off so swell. Let's see how I'm looking at my time. Okay, not looking too bad. Another big news story here. Eric Swalwell, remember him? The guy that was running for governor in California, former California congressman, and really the shoo-in to be not only the nominee but also the next governor of California. So it was recently, as you all know, he had been in some hot water where I think a video clip had surfaced online of him looking quite intoxicated, getting handsy with a lady who wasn't his wife. And then you have former staffers saying, hey, look, he was handsy with us and, sexual misconduct. During that time, it was him, and there was a number of other candidates who were also in the running of getting expelled and, wanting them to resign, X, Y, and Z. And he was one of them, but he was primarily the one that was getting the most, the drag the most, I would say. He had been very quiet since then. And it kind of like, because of him, I said on the show, could California possibly see its first Republican governor, or elect their first Republican governor since Schwarzenegger, which was a long, long time ago. But let me go ahead and read you this article here. It's by the Associated Press. Federal agents seized devices from ex-rep Eric Swalwell in a sexual misconduct probe. Says here that they also searched his Washington home as part of the investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct by the ex-congressman from California. Swalwell devices were seized at the San Francisco airport on a recent trip, and agents executed a search warrant at his home the day later. Let's see. A message seeking comment was left with an attorney for Swalwell, who obviously had denied all the allegations, and told the Daily Mail first reported the seizure of Swalwell's devices I think last Thursday. It was announced that his resignation from Congress in April. Swalwell had announced his resignation from Congress following allegations that Swalwell had sexually assaulted a woman twice, including when she worked for him. The San Francisco Chronicle, followed by CNN, first reported the allegations. CNN also reported that 3 other women alleged various kinds of sexual misconduct by Swalwell, including sending them unsolicited, explicit messages or nude photos. The 7-term, y'all counted, the 7-term lawmaker has been seen as one of the leading candidates. As I mentioned, I'm not going to go through that whole spiel. The Office of Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg confirmed in April that it was investigating Swalwell after a former staffer told CNN and the Chronicle that Swalwell raped her at a hotel while he was in New York City for a charity gala in 2024. Now, in a statement, Bragg's office encouraged survivors and anyone with knowledge of these allegations to contact our Special Victims division. For one, I think I'm not familiar with the law. Now, I was a bit, I wouldn't say alarmed, but I was curious on the federal, well, no, I guess not. Because I mean, and the reason why I say is because I remember when, when Diddy got his home raided by the Fed. So it's interesting. It's just very, well, it's obviously a fall from grace, but it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss of words though. I'm at a loss of words with the C's, because obviously there was ongoing investigation. But I'm curious of what are they, the devices, yes. Rating the home is interesting. Rating the device is one thing, because you mentioned like the messages, right? The messages and the possible photos sent. But the home is interesting. This will be an ongoing, again, this is an ongoing case. It's a huge loss for the Democratic Party. Again, I would say Eric Swalwell at one point was one of the stars of the left. He literally was the shoo-in to be elected as governor of the state. Again, a seven-term congressman. So there's 2 years in each term? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 years as a congressman. And I think he was an elected official before he was in Congress. So I tell you, man, it's just, you just never know. You really just never know. And look, like I said, this happens on both sides of the aisle. You have folks that mean well, then you have some bad apples that do some bad things. And, I feel bad for, the families involved in this whole thing, the victims as well as Swalwell's family, because, he was a married man. I'm unaware. I don't know if they had kids or not, but it's just it's a lot. This is a tough pill to swallow, though. It's a tough pill to swallow. But we will continue on finding out more info in that story. But hey, a huge L for the left, and I'm still sticking to it. You could see California elect a Republican governor. I'm gonna say it right now here on the show. That guy could be Steve Hilton. He's the only Republican that's in the bunch. Is him and I'm blanking on the guy's name. Former secretary under the, was he under the Barrera? I think he was under the Obama and Biden administration, or just under, I think it was under the Biden administration. But anyway, let me fast forward to this. Okay, take a quick breather from. Let me see. Do I have enough time? I think what I'm going to do, my friends, what I'm gonna do, the story on Meg Markle and as well as the local, where I'm gonna hold off that for another show, because I'm actually pressing with time, because I got another function I gotta go to in a few. But let me go ahead though, and let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, I'm gonna share. We're gonna talk 2028 predictions. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk 2028 predictions. So thank you for sticking with us, y'all. We're gonna take some commercial breaks here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these breaks.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, friends, welcome back. So, 2028. It's continuing being discussed on who will run for president of the United States. Once because Trump is termed out. This is considered his second term. He will be unable to run again. I know it's been shared that, hey, look, he wants to run. He wants to stay because, hey, the people say another year, 4 more years. I mean, they want to do it. It would be nice to do. You got whack jobs like Steve Bannon, the far right extremists that are so up Trump's ass to that will say we can make it happen. We're trying to find some ways where he can stay in office. And so that ain't gonna happen. So once he's out, okay, who will continue on the MAGA name, right? Personally, there isn't anybody that can continue the MAGA name without Trump being at the realm. So that being, now they probably could attempt, because in my opinion, I feel like JD Vance is attempting to try and be a Trump Jr., right? If you see the way that he dresses, I feel like he dresses like him, as like father and son, and the son is trying to be more like him and trying to be approved from his father and yada yada yada. Because look, Vance is not an experienced politician. Vance won a U.S. Senate race. That's an accomplishment. Good for him. But if you think about it, he didn't even succeed a year as a U.S. Senator until he got the call to serve, or to be on the campaign trail to serve as Trump's vice. I haven't seen really anything Vance do besides promote a book. All right. So that being said, I see him being a contender for sure. Do I see him being a strong shoo-in to win? No. I look at Rubio as a stronger Republican candidate than Vance. Now, both of them coming from the Trump administration, could that help or hurt their chances? I think it will hurt. I've spoken with tons of Republicans, members of the Republican Party, that says, hey, look, Trump has not helped the Republican Party. He's hurt the Republican Party. We see these midterms right now. These GOP candidates, I mean, they're not looking so good. Even some of those that are Trump endorsed candidates, they're losing their primaries. They're losing they're losing in the primary. So if you're not a very, very ruby red state, then obviously it's easy, easy peasy, for you guys. But if you're not, it's not going to help out at all. Gavin Newsom has had that name put in the pot. He has been doing everything besides being the governor. He's been on, he's hosting podcasts, he's interviewing other governors, and he's been on TV screens in different areas for a long time. I think it's basically his pre-tour, his campaign tour for president. He recently on his pod, he had Gretchen Whitmer, who's the former still current governor of Michigan. After seeing them, talk, I could see him run and maybe do like a Newsom and Whitmer ticket. I mean, is it appealing? Maybe on the left, but again, y'all, I don't think that any politician from the state of California will succeed and win a presidency, right? There's only been one person that I can think of, and that's Reagan, right? Reagan was a Republican. I don't see any Democrat from the state of California succeeding as and winning the presidential election. Now, I spoke with a good friend of mine earlier today, and he's team Kamala all day, every day. He's like Kamala Harris. That's all they need. Kamala Harris. He's just all in for Kamala, and not saying Kamala isn't qualified. I just think, and it's sad because this is how I feel about the world. I don't think America will ever elect a woman president. Correct me if I'm wrong, make me a believer, but I don't think they will ever elect a woman president. I just think the world doesn't treat women with respect personally, and that being said, I just don't think that a woman president will ever get elected. Now, I spoke to another friend of mine, and they said they could see a woman get elected, but it will be a Republican woman, not a Democratic woman. I mean, hell, look when Kamala got elected, everybody was telling you how bad she is at this, how dumb she is, how she doesn't know anything, yada yada yada. Even people within our own party, even black men were like, I can't leave with her. She locked up this, she locked up these brothers, and this and the other. I'm like, okay, so finding excuse again. These folks, by the way, didn't know anything because some of them weren't even regular voters, but they knew everything about Kamala. Now, look, Kamala Harris wasn't my cup of tea either. I was not the biggest Kamala Harris supporter, right? But when I looked at that last election, you good and damn well, I said, no. I mean, if she's a candidate, then she's a candidate. I'm not the person that I just don't go out and vote. Nor was I going to vote a third party and waste my vote in that election. I was like, no, I wasn't going to do that. Now, have I voted third party before? I have. But when it comes to Trump, it's no question for me. It's no question. Again, someone who has served on a local level, state level, and a federal level, obviously she was qualified. Now, it sucks the fact that she had 107 days to prove that. Now, if she had a longer chance to prove that, will she be successful? The reason why I say I don't think she would, because she's already done it before. She didn't even make it to Iowa when she ran for president. So what makes you think now this third attempt will work? This will be her third attempt running for president. I don't think it will work, nor do I think the party should say we're going to push her forward. No, if she runs, we'll make her work for it. But I'm sorry. And I get it. She was the former vice. Give her more props, give her more respect. I don't think it's cut out for that. Anybody from the state of California is not going to succeed. That being said, I don't think Gavin Newsom will be he might be the Democratic nominee, but I don't think he'll win the overall election. Now, it could prove me wrong. He's a great debater. He can go toe to toe with any conservative, smooth talker. But again, look at California's baggage, right? The cost of living, right? The homeless rate out there. California people in the Midwest and in other rural areas cannot relate to a California. So that I say no to Newsom. Josh Shapiro out of Pennsylvania, Governor Josh Shapiro. I think he lost. I think he had his chance in the last election. He could say that, hey, look, I'm gonna run. He could. It will be interesting. He could be at least in the top 3 if he attempts to run. He's another person who's respected. He was a fan favorite at the time. A lot of folks are saying, well, what about AOC? Is AOC trying to, throw her name in that pot? I think if she does, she would have to respond to the rhetoric in the past, because when she initially started, she was a very strong progressive. Now, strong progressives, in my opinion, we have never seen succeed as president, right? We've seen Bernie Sanders run how many times, right? Elizabeth Warren, she ran a number of times. AOC will build up the young vote, I think. She has kind of softened up her, not saying she's still not a progressive, but I think she's finding her way how to lower certain rhetoric. She's not like a Ilhan Omar or Rashid Tlaib or hell, even a Cori Bush. Which Cori Bush, I mean, she's not an elected official anymore, but I'm just saying her tactics is kind of changing. And remember, her and Bernie Sanders did this whole tour in predominantly red states, fighting the oligarchy tour or something, and they sold out. They were selling out. Who else on the left? I heard Kelly's name, Mark Kelly out of Arizona. Yeah, not that's not gonna happen. Now, Andy Beshear, that's a name to think about. Governor of Kentucky. Think hold tight on that name. Hold tight on Beshear. Though that right there, so you have Beshear, you have Shapiro, you have Newsom, AOC. That's 4. Let me at least throw a 5th name in there. Oh, and Kamala. Those are your 5. Now, who can succeed out of that whole bunch? I would say Beshear. I would say Andy Beshear. I would have to read a little more, but I'm gonna just say that just as far as prediction now. Let me go ahead and go to the let me go move it on to the right wing of the side. Obviously JD Vance is for sure gonna run. He's the vice. It's common for the vice to run. Marco Rubio, a lot of folks are saying, hey, look, Marco Rubio could be a shoe-in. Again, I will put Rubio as a higher caliber than a Vance. Ron DeSantis, he's done. He's done. He doesn't seem like a tough guy to me, because he could have easily, well, he did actually. I'm sorry. He attempted, but then I think he ended up dropping out. Yeah, I'm not crazy about DeSantis. I think DeSantis' stock value had already surpassed. Same with Vivek Ramaswamy. No, he's not gonna succeed. Rand Paul, okay, senator out of Kentucky. Possibly, possibly. Oh, and then another name that's been brought up, former governor of the great state of Virginia, Republican Glenn Youngkin. Now, Glenn, he might, if he runs, he will be at the bottom of the ranking, because he's not presidential material, in my opinion. Now, would somebody want him to be their vice? For sure. I can see that. One-term governor, he is close with MAGA. He is a self-made millionaire. I know, well, he's very successful, multi-millionaire. Vice for possibly. Now, remember my guy Mike Termat, who I had on the show, who was running for vice president in 2028. Remember that name? See what he does, right? He was making a lot of noise. Yeah, the right doesn't really have. So, okay, so I think my contenders will be Vance, Rubio, Youngkin. I'll throw Youngkin up there. I don't think Rubio. Not Rubio, DeSantis. I really don't think DeSantis will. No, do I think Rand Paul? Now, the oddballs that might pop out is Tucker. Tucker Carlson, right? He apparently is starting a party with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey. Now, maybe Tucker could be the founder of the party, and then put Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene as as the front runners, I don't know. I really don't know. I will say it will be interesting seeing Tucker on that debate stage, though. That will be interesting. I don't know, folks. What are your predictions for 2020? I know we've skipped over midterms. We're not even finished with midterms yet. But what are your predictions for 2028? What are your predictions for 2028? Let me know. Put it in the comment section or hit me up, DM or email. I'm curious to know who are your 2028 contenders. Give me your top 5 on the Democratic side, Republican side. Hell, throw in some independents in there. I'm very curious. Folks, thank you for sticking with us as always here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm gonna close this show out a little early. As I mentioned, I got another event I'm heading to. Staying busy, as you all know, I've openly shared on this show. I am supporting my cousin, my first cousin, Dr. Janelle St. Louis, who's running for Chesapeake City Council. It is a packed race. It is an at-large race, okay? And she is one of the 15 candidates running to win one of the 5 seats. So as the supportive cousin I am, I'm doing my part to do all I can and use my services and help get her elected, because I think she'll be a great addition to city council. I think she can make a huge difference in this city we all grew up in, and I'm just, hey, put my money where my mouth is, right? Practicing what I preach. I'm, supporting and being there, boots on the ground and talking with the folks. So I would love to stay and chat with you all, but I have got to go. As always, my friends, for taking the time and chiming in on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do me a favor, stay safe, stay blessed, and please always stay informed. I will talk to you soon for another great combo here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.